Riverdale sometimes deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We provided a list of content warnings in the episode description. Hello and welcome to Dead Ends. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And we have 2 episodes of Riverdale for you.
Yes, we do.
Including a musical episode.
Yeah, we got our season's musical episode. I think it's probably my least favorite because I think the music...
It's no Heathers.
Exactly.
The musical numbers themselves are really good.
Yeah. I think just the story wrapper around it isn't very loose.
They didn't give enough to then make it feel... I don't know. I kind of wish we'd had just a Kevin episode if we were going to do this.
Yeah.
Because we had just solved the mystery with Jughead. So we could have had a just Kevin episode.
Mm-hmm.
Or Kevin's POV, you know what I mean? And
Totally.
really focused on that.
Yeah.
And also, we did not get enough time with everybody in their little Hedwig outfits.
Yes,
They looked gorgeous. The makeup was done so well. And the outfits looked beautiful. And yet we got 0.2 seconds of that scene.
We got one crowd shot. That's all we got.
I was like, no, I want a close up. I want everyone's outfit. I want a getting ready montage as a group.
Mm-hmm.
Who did Reggie's makeup?
Yeah.
Because it was perfect.
It looked great.
Yeah.
I was like, that is, Kevin's makeup throughout this looks great. But yeah, Reggie, a true standout, truly, the makeup disguised him. You know what I mean?
He was gorgeous.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Everyone should be put in drag, and it looked really great. And I wanted more of that.
Totally. Yeah, we just don't get maybe enough of Kevin or enough of what Hedwig is.
Yeah, and what it's really about. We get told what it's Hedwig is about.
Yeah.
But very abstractly.
Exactly. It's more like, hey, we're going to give you a teaser to go be excited about Hedwig, and you can go watch it on your own.
Which does make sense because it is not it is a rated R film. So I guess in that, I get it. I just kind of wish if they couldn't commit to doing something fully, they didn't do it at all.
Yeah. And you would think that the way they keep talking about focusing on Kevin and Hedwig's about a genderqueer person, that there would be something about queerness and stuff, but it's no, Principal Honey just doesn't want to have this, so they put it on somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really relate anything to identity or any of that. So.
No, and the plot line with it is random as hell too, because it's just we have a Betty and Archie will they won't they as the subplot, and I'm just I feel we could have not made the queer story about straight characters.
Yeah.
And I do know I think specifically with Hedwig and how Hedwig is portrayed, it's Hedwig technically is not supposed to be obviously you can find your own relation and meaning to it, but Hedwig isn't supposed to necessarily represent the trans community because Hedwig didn't have a choice in being genitally mutilated, right? Isn't that what happens?
Yes. Neither of us have seen it, just up top here, but at least our understanding is that they're the person they're going to go to marry and move to America with wants them to be a woman and has a botched surgery.
Mm-hmm. And so it I just think that
and I should say, when I say be a woman, I meant female is what I should have said. Actual the sex organs.
Yes. Yeah, and they didn't talk about the nuance of it, obviously, and so it just kind of gets lost. And I kind of wish we could have, because I think it's a really interesting story.
Totally. Yeah, because
we didn't watch it because Brenton was like, we should watch it, and I was like, it sounds really sad right now, and I'm already kind of sad, so we didn't, and that's on me. I'm sorry, but if you have, tell us what you think and what you think about the episode with it, because we obviously have not seen the musical or movie.
Yeah, totally. Or we can at least move into the recap, provide a bit of background on just kind of pulling things,
But did I finish my thought that I just didn't think the straight characters should be like the focus of this whole episode? Like, I was like, give us a Kevin and Cheryl, and if we had any sort of other genderqueer character would be cool.
Yeah.
We don't play that game in Riverdale.
No, Riverdale is very what am I trying to say? That it will like say, it's everybody's very accepting of all different types of people. It's a diverse cast of characters. I'm not saying the town is, I should say that like the Riverdale to show is like we have this diverse cast of characters from different sexualities and different kind of racial backgrounds, but really the center of it is like that straight, like more conservative worldview. And I think that's kind of the same thing with like we've talked about the way it'll portray the town as like that perfect town with like the nuclear families and all that. So there's not much space. It's more kind of paying lip service, I guess, in a sense, to like queer identity most of the time. It'll have like its special episodes, but it doesn't really ever.
Do you think the weird over like arching strangeness of the show is a statement saying that maybe we shouldn't fall into this conservative idyllic town vibe because it will just make everything weird?
Yeah, potentially. I could see a reading.
I mean, when you try to really look at the arc of Riverdale and extrapolate what the purpose of this show was,
and
can I pull that, or is that stretching too far?
I'd be open to an argument on it. In the same way, so jumping ahead to the next episode, being Lynchian, with Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet, it's all about the seedy things that go on underneath the exterior of suburbia. So could you also say the same thing about, related to the typical American values, white picket fences and all that stuff? I think without just kind of thinking on the moment without having like a full argument put together, I think it's maybe doing both. It's like having its cake and eating its too, and
that's
then
what I was thinking.
That it like critiques it, but then at the same time it also just like deploys it.
Yeah, and it still utilizes it for the storytelling aspect,
like uncritically. Yeah. But that's kind of an unformed thought on my end. So I don't know, something to do on.
I expect everyone's 500-word essays in my inbox by Monday,
or the comment section on YouTube. And the email inbox is deadendspcast@gmail.com.
I feel like a 500-word essay is not very long. It's like a page.
Yeah, we'll take a page. This should be easy for you.
Please work out my theory for me and send it to me.
That's right. And then
who needs AI? I have you.
That's right.
To do my work for me. Thank you.
Emily will come on the next episode with just saying it as her own.
Exactly. No, we don't believe in plagiarism and theft.
That's right.
Well, we believe it exists, but we don't participate in it.
Does it exist?
I'm just like, I don't believe in it.
I don't know.
It's not real. It's like when people are like, I don't believe in pronouns. And I'm like, well, that's not how that works,
right.
baby.
What do you refer to yourself as?
Pronouns don't care.
Yeah. Hey.
Anyway, hello. We're here.
We are. It's Dead Ends. I'm Brenton.
I'm Emily, and we're sorry.
But we're going to talk about first Chapter 74, Wicked Little Town, which is named after the song from Hedwig and the Angry Inch. It's the first song that you'll hear in the episode.
I think it was the best one.
It is really good.
It's really good. I really like the one where they're all yelling at each other because it's fun. I like yelling.
Yes.
I like yelling in song.
I wrote down all the song names. That one was...
We can get to it when we get to it.
Exquisite Corpse.
I'll tell you my ranking as we get...
Right. Well, and I think what's fun listening to it is that it's like rock music.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pulling from the like glam rock of the 70s. So, like David Bowie. And then also like early punk stuff. They list on the Wikipedia like Lou Reed and Iggy Pop, but like, yeah, you can hear like where the Sex Pistols are kind of like coming in here too, and Ramones. So
also,
all music that I like. So
we get a lot of Cole Sprouse singing.
Yes, we do.
I think he was very.
He's in it a lot.
I'm assuming he was very comfortable with this music, or they just made him. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right at this point, here you are.
But I was like, oh, he like it sounds good. And I feel like they picked songs that actually really allowed Kevin to have like a really good musical episode, because
Yes.
they often assigned him like the women or the higher parts that I don't think were necessarily like ideal for him in other songs. Not, he sounded fine, but you know what I mean? Like, I think you can play to his strengths better, and I think this does.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think this is much more in Casey Cott's range.
Yes.
And he does great.
Please call him Kevin. I realized I was calling him Kevin.
Reagan.
I mean, I don't know what his range is personally, and we don't know enough about singing to be like, oh yes, but it
just sounds better.
It sounds really good.
Yeah. So it was 1998 off Broadway, and then eventually became in its first Broadway incarnation was like revived in April 2014, and then won Best Revival Musical at the Tonys that year.
Oh.
So I mean, like a big cult hit.
Got a
and
Tony.
Then even the LA production of the show was co-produced by David Bowie.
Wow.
So full circle, coming back around. Right. Yeah. So that's kind of the extent of the background. And the musical itself, which doesn't really factor in here, is about a genderqueer like rock artist from like East Berlin, and like playing back and forth with gender identity and things like that. And also East and West, like freedom and American values and stuff, all tied in there.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't really need to know that to watch this episode.
No, you don't need to know anything about Hedwig to watch the episode. It just makes the outfits make more sense.
Totally. All right, in the recap, oh my God, I put Riverdale comes home. Jughead comes home and invites.
What is he if not the heart of Riverdale, Brenton?
Right.
That is Riverdale Jones the Third.
It's Mr. Riverdale to you.
One time I was talking to, it was your mom, right? I was talking to someone about the town I was from, and someone said that in your mom said she knew someone from there, and that person's dad was Mr. My childhood hometown. And I was like, I've never heard of this man in my life. It's not a town that has like a name that you would think is a name. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's certain names like town names you hear that could also be a name. Mm-hmm. This isn't one of those.
No.
And so to this day, no one in my family, I asked my whole family because it's a small town. I was like, who's Mr. Town? And they were like, we don't know. Yes. So I'm desperate to find out. And one day I'll have to really push on this and ask your mother if she can get more information from her friend.
Yeah.
Because I want to know why this person believes their father was Mr. My Town. Because maybe there's something my family doesn't know. But one of my mom's cousins was mayor at one point. So I sincerely doubt that because, we were deeply seated.
Right, right.
Which apparently was just like if you were on the board, they just pick a person to be mayor. Like you don't vote for mayor.
It's very funny.
I didn't know that was a thing.
You just get, all right, your turn.
Local politics are wild.
It is funny.
We don't live local to there, so we don't vote in those elections. And
no, but we voted here.
Also, that was about, 40 years ago. It
might have changed.
Yeah, things might be different now.
Hey, might not.
But sorry, tangent, but.
No, you're all good. All right. So Jughead comes home and finds a VHS sitting on his doorstep. We see that Archie, Veronica, and the Blossom House all receive videos. This is when they're all singing Wicked Little Town. And a crowd at Pops watches a video from outside the diners, and I went, Sweet Pea's back again.
You love Sweet Pea.
Mm-hmm. Never mind. When we get to it. 1 minute. Veronica sees Hiram at the table and reminds him that he has a doctor's appointment that day, and he's like, well, yes, I'm going after I finish my coffee. Instead, he goes to Archie's community center to go work out, but he can't get his last set finished, and he just goes like, help, can somebody help? And then Archie runs over and spots him.
Do you think those are real plates, or do you think they're like fake weighted plates? Like, do you think that's a fake bar and fake weighted plates?
It would probably make more sense if they were fake because he probably had to do that take multiple times.
Yeah, maybe it's like a regular bar and then like lighter plates.
Yeah, unless they just made him do these over chest press over and over.
I saw this clip in Twilight. This is so tangential. I'm so sorry. I'm just so ADHD today.
Okay.
But I saw this clip that apparently in Twilight, I think it's New Moon, when Jacob has to carry Bella out of the woods and he's carrying her. Mm-hmm. So originally they'd set up this like rig or whatever, but it like didn't look right for it to support her. So literally that poor boy just had to keep carrying her. And so by the end of the day, like his, and of course you don't film it like once. You have to film the wide shot and then the close up and then his close up and her close up and then anything else. And so like he just had to like carry her as if it wasn't hurting him.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
that's a brutal day.
I think I would die.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know, like, do they make people still do things like that?
French press, yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then Archie's like, "Oh, maybe you should take it easy because of like your health." And then Hiram's like, "No, I'm healthy." Betty has a binder of stuff Jughead missed while he was at Stonewall and hands it to him to get studying. Jughead worries it's not worth it to catch up, and Betty's like, "Well, it's just a couple of months and you'll get through this and we'll graduate and go off together." Jughead then visits Charles and he's like, "Oh, I have all this homework, but I don't want to do it. Can I help with your investigation instead?" And Charles is like, "Sure." And Jughead's like, "Well, can you keep this from Betty?" And Charles is like, "Well, if she asks me directly, like I'll tell her, but otherwise I won't say anything." And he's like, "Fine."
So he's playing favorites with his new siblings.
Yes, exactly. favorite to Betty. Honey says Kevin can't perform his musical number from Hedwig in the talent show, and Kevin says the show stands for like diversity of backgrounds and voice of the generation, taking on all the things of the world, and then goes into the song Random Number Generation. And after the song finishes, Honey is unswayed and threatens to remove him from running the talent show.
I like that this went full musical in that way, where like everyone's all of a sudden got a different costume with the different numbers on them.
Yeah.
Do you notice what numbers everyone had?
No, I didn't actually.
Pretty sure Archie was 1.
Makes sense.
I think Betty was 2.
So it's
and Veronica was 3.
Oh, it's the call sheet.
Yeah, I think so. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure.
They might.
Well, I don't know. I don't
Cole
you think
Sprouse
Cole Sprouse might be number 1 on the call sheet?
Yeah. That's really fun though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what order they were in. I just thought it was funny.
And then Archie walks over and signs up the Archies to the talent show, which was the band from the 1980s show.
My favorite thing about this is that Archie's got a band with his friends and he calls it the Archies.
Yes.
Like, what a narcissist.
They do a pretty good, they do a good joke about it later.
They do, but I'm just like.
What is it? Yeah, Jughead goes, what, was the me taken?
Yeah.
Archie practices guitar when his string breaks, and he's like, "Damn," and goes into the garage and finds his dad's old electric guitar. Kevin tells Fangs he's singing something from Oklahoma instead, and Fangs encourages him to do Hedwig and go rogue. Betty reads Jughead's essay, and she's like, "You phone this in." Jughead says he's going to go offline and work on things in the bunker, and we see him reviewing the videotapes. Archie tells the other
You thought you were real sly with that one, didn't you? You see him reviewing? Like, if you see you studying and then the videotapes. Oh, you didn't pause there on purpose. That was purely coincidental.
What did I do?
Like reviewing, like studying. Like if he was reviewing. Like you paused before you said the videotape.
Oh,
so I thought you were
was...
like trying to do like a pregnant pause there.
Yes, I was.
I was giving you more credit than you deserve. Typical woman looking at a man. I'm sorry I fall into it just like everyone else. We all think men are smarter than they are.
But thank you.
Welcome. I was like, oh, that's
Take
clever.
it as a compliment. I was just doing emphasis.
Been listening to Gabby Windy. You're just going to pick emphasis.
Oh my God. Well, I can't do it like Gabby because like she is like truly reading like poetry, like in the stylings and the way she does it. And I couldn't accidentally back into that.
If you don't know who Gabby Windy is, at one point she was the Bachelorette. She was on The Bachelor and then she was the Bachelorette. And then she went on Dancing with the Stars. And that's how I found her. And then she more recently was on The Traitors, not this current season, but last season. And if you've never heard Gabby speak, you're truly missing out. Gabby has a podcast. It's called Long Winded. It's my favorite thing that I listen to every week because she is just, it's just like unless she's interviewing someone. She did, her interview with Renee Rapp is really good, but I really like just listening to her solo episodes because it's just her stream of consciousness, just like verbally coming out, and it's so good.
She has really good
cadence.
Yes, cadence, and I guess lyricism too, to the way she's just like recapping something or like expressing like frustration or opinion. Like,
yeah, she'll
her vocabulary is incredible.
Yeah, and she'll create like a, you know, like when you have like a hypothetical situation in your head and you're like, they said this and she said that. Like she'll do that about like a real life scenario. Like in her most recent episode, she was talking about Alyssa Liu roller skating away from a Coca-Cola bear. It's just, and it's so good.
But it's done as if she's reading like poetry.
Yes.
It's incredible.
It's so good. I love Gabby.
Yeah.
We call her Gaggy, though, because there's a TikTok from a long time ago where someone came to her door and thought she said her name was Gaggy. Gaggy!
Archie tells the other three main characters that
I'm like, go listen to a different podcast.
Exactly. Pause here. Goodbye. No, but it's well worth the listen.
It is very fun.
Archie tells the other three main characters that they're signed up for the talent show. Betty encourages Jughead to take some time out to be of studying to be in the band. Kevin gives an announcement on the intercom, and we see he's in full drag as the Hedwig costume at the office. We then go into the music room where Kevin and a full band, Fangs on guitar, Tony on drums, and Sweet Pea does not get a camera showing him playing bass. He is only in like the wide shots where you can see him in the background playing bass. They don't pan over to him.
Yeah.
It's I was like, who's playing bass? This is like driving me nuts. Which is just mean to Sweet Pea. And then they perform Tear Me Down. Honey tells him he's off the variety show. Betty hosts a sleepover with the girls.
And Kevin.
Exactly. He's one of the girls. The girls as in the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the girls colloquially.
Exactly. Kevin feels upset because he felt working on the variety show connected him to himself pre the farm. And then Betty starts the song Wig in a Box, and we get a whole musical number about that, and the girls all pledge to make things right. Cheryl, Tony, and the Vixens accost Principal Honey at Pops and try to encourage him to change his mind on Hedwig, and they sing Sugar Daddy, and Honey is not swayed. Tony threatens to have every student change their song in the talent show to Hedwig, and he's like, well, if a student performs that, they'll be barred from prom. That is the worst counteroffer I've ever heard. Worst threat I've ever heard.
My favorite thing about this episode is that it has gone from like the stakes of like Jughead was being murdered, like there's a serial killer out there, all of this, to the Principal Honey versus the students.
Yeah.
Which is like what Riverdale really felt like at the beginning.
Yes.
I mean, there's still a murder in the background, but like the focus is the high school of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's fun that they kind of circled back to the high school of it all for these last couple like months of them being in high school.
Yeah, before they're out in a few episodes.
Yes.
Archie works out at the center when he gets a bunch of texts from Veronica that she needs his help. Apparently, Hiram fell, and Archie tells her about Hiram working out at the center and spotting him. Veronica's mad he hasn't said anything and that Archie didn't do anything to get him to go to the doctor. Jughead watches videotapes when he gets caught by Betty and tries to get it through his thick skull, and he needs to take things down seriously. Jughead digs his own ditch, getting mean, and they go into Exquisite Corpse, and this also intercuts between the argument between Archie and Veronica. Honey finds the entire school dressed up as Hedwig, and he's like, well, the variety show's canceled. Betty comes over to Archie's for rehearsal, and he's like, oh, it was canceled. Me and Veronica got in a fight. And Betty's like, well, Jughead and I do. And Archie's like, well, the sign-up sheet reminded me of performing at the talent show in season 1 and seeing my dad in the crowd. And Betty says the two of us can rehearse, and they start singing The Origin of Love. Now, my big thing with this is The Origin of Love, in like when I was going over Hedwig reading the synopsis, is based on Aristophanes' speech in Plato's Symposium, which is about the 3 sexes of human beings that once existed.
Mm-hmm.
Children of the sun, children of the earth, and children of the moon, of like man and man, woman and woman, and then man and woman attached. And then how the angry gods split these early humans into 2, leaving like separated people with a lifelong yearning for their other half. And so to your point, we reframe all that instead of being about gender identity into about these straight people falling in love.
Mm-hmm.
We intercut between Veronica feeling sad and Jughead getting his head out of his ass and working on school. Betty and Archie kiss as the song ends. Jughead brings his better and completed essay to Betty and he apologizes. They kiss. Jughead leaves to go back to work as Betty cries. Veronica visits Archie and apologizes. Veronica says thanks to him speaking up, she got Hiram a doctor before it was too late. She says Kevin also had the idea to host the variety show at Le Bon Nuit. Veronica leaves, and Archie and Betty stare at each other across their windows and sing the reprise to Wicked Little Town and fantasize dancing together in their outfits from the season 1 dance that they went together. Variety show at Le Bon Nuit. Cheryl introduces the Archies, with Kevin on the keys.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin's part of the Archies.
Why wasn't he at rehearsal when Betty and Jughead or Betty and Archie kissed?
What if he's on like the garage door, like?
That would have been good.
That would have been good.
That would have been good because Kevin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What secrets is he keeping under that wig?
His hair's so big, it's full of secrets.
They perform Midnight Radio. The Archies perform on top of Pops as the town is outside singing, and Jughead's narration takes over as we're moving away from the musical episode back to Riverdale as usual, where he's like, ooh, I wonder which one of these people recording me. They have a variety of cameras as well.
Yeah.
Of like a VHS recorder, like a more modern digital camera, then like a phone. And he's like, who is like recording it as the voyeur? And then Jughead is back in the bunker when he watches one videotape. Well, and he says, he's like, I completed all my schoolwork. So I get to watch my videotapes as a treat. Betty says I get an hour. And he watches a videotape where someone in a Jughead mask someone is in a Jughead mask, and then another person in a Betty mask comes up behind them and smashes their head in repeatedly with a rock. The end.
Okay, so the first and foremost thing I want to discuss is that never happened.
No.
Right? But
because we know that it was a Joan that cracked him.
Exactly. But in the next episode, we get the Clifford Blossom shooting Jason. And I'm bringing this up now just because it came up here. And that did happen. And I think as it goes on, it's supposed to like allude to the fact that like everything, like these are their secrets coming out. But like Betty never clubbed Jughead.
No.
So like how would we, like the voyeur's not actually watching them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all just like rumor based.
Yeah, that's an important thing to flag.
I just think it's like interesting because I don't remember catching that the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we'll see if that is a thing that comes up later.
The voyeur does not know all.
Exactly.
It's
this is not A.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, the voyeur wishes.
Oh.
But the voyeur is merely restaging the rumors.
Exactly. I just think that's interesting.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Betty and Archie of it all. There's more in the next episode, but they kissed. As you put it yesterday, it's like the plot light's one thing, but another thing is they just don't have chemistry in the same way. It's very sibling vibes.
Yeah. Like, Archie, you're kissing your sister. Like,
yeah. And it's like, I hate this, and it's more in the next episode too. This whole like, Archie didn't know until now, and now he sees. This idea that we let men get away with overlooking women and girls and being boys to girls, men to women. But overlooking the opposite, or, you know, whatever sex they're into, I guess. And then all of a sudden it's like, and then one day I woke up and I knew. And it's one thing when you just like gradually grow closer as you get older, but they don't set it up this way. It's not like Archie just like, as they grow closer, he's like, wait, Betty, help me with the jalopy. Like, I feel really good about that.
Right.
You know, like if that had been a moment, it would have been like, oh, that makes sense. Like it's something that made him feel safe and closer. But instead it becomes this like, well, now I see. And it's like, why? Yeah. And I also feel like I can't decide if they were trying to do this as like his dad died, part of like his dad died trauma. And it's like, well, Betty like helps him feel close to his dad in a lot of ways. But I feel like then that should have come up earlier.
Mm-hmm. They'll do they dig in the next episode, which we'll talk about. They dig into Betty's reasoning behind this.
Well, yeah, because Betty's always had a crush on him.
Right, but yeah, exactly, and how that connects back around. But like Archie's is a little less vague. He's just like, I see now, and I'm all in.
And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Archie's really doesn't make sense to me.
No, it's like
Betty's does to me because it's like it'd be like if if you like the guy you had a crush on all throughout junior high, especially like let's say like it was a famous person, like you grew up in the 90s. Like for me, it would have been Lance Bass. If Lance Bass had then turned to me later and been like, Emily, I'm in love with you at 17, 18, I'd have been like, yes, Lance Bass. I mean, he would have been too old, but you know what I mean? Like, let's say we were the same age. He obviously was not interested in me.
Right.
One, I was a child. Two, I wasn't his type.
Nope.
But I just like I get that idea. And like they play with it in the next episode of like this person you've had a crush on and like that you're like, well, like, even though I'm with this person and I love them, I'm entertaining this idea because I've always had this like little, like it's always been in the back of my mind.
And like high school where that all feels very heightened.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, no, I get my Lance Bass example isn't great because we weren't in high school together, but like
that's right.
It's what I could think of.
Yes. Uh-huh. Imagine for the viewers at home if they were.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you don't know that, I guess. You don't know me.
So now we're telling you, actually, we're changing it. We phrased it wrong. She did go to high school with Lance Bass.
That makes me
so now you can fill
10 years older than I am, I think.
And fill in the town that he was in for the other story.
I don't think I have the right accent.
Where is he from, actually?
I think he's from the South, isn't he?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Why do I want to say Memphis?
Oh,
But
okay.
I feel like that could be very wrong.
So my mom was telling you Mr. Memphis.
Mr. Memphis. Anyway, we're so sorry.
Tempted to call the episode title Mr. Memphis.
That's what I was thinking. Well, we do this for ourselves and
That's
for
right,
you.
Exactly.
But yeah, I get it. I don't get the Archie of it all.
No.
TLDR,
no.
I don't get it.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I guess
If a man-
that he's worried about his future, but I don't know how that would.
Like clinging to Betty because she's the only stable thing.
Yeah, but like I feel like Veronica is.
Yeah. But they got in a
But
fight.
exactly. You know what?
But
And then he's all. Well, we'll talk about that next episode.
yeah. And then Jughead getting his head out of his ass, great. I love this. I think Jughead really has grown as a character because like you get moments where he's a kid. He still reacts like a kid. And I mean like people in general, I know a lot of adults that react like that when you confront them.
Yeah.
They get defensive and then later they're like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing? I need to fix this. And so he's shown that growth. Most of the other characters haven't. Veronica has shown that growth. She's
Yes.
like, hey, you know what? Actually, I was wrong. And I'm going to apologize. And here's cupcakes.
Yes.
And so I like this a lot. I just don't really know what it has to do with Hedwig.
Nothing.
I like that it showed that they grew, but I don't like the Betty and Archie of it all.
Yeah.
I don't like cheating
them
plot
together.
lines, and I know
Yeah,
all
exactly.
teen dramas are gonna have someone kissing someone when they're not supposed to, and it's just the intentionality behind it is a problem.
Yeah, and I just don't like Barchi. I don't think
It doesn't work on the
work.
show.
No.
It would have worked if they'd started it with season 1 and played like the will they won't they, but because we've gotten so far without it,
Yeah.
and because it's a power dynamic that is like unfairly like weighed towards Archie. Like Archie always had the
that's true.
power because he knew Betty had a crush.
Gosh, yes.
So
yeah.
he's always had the power in this dynamic. He's always known Betty had a crush.
Yep.
And so now he can use that.
Mhm.
And so that always it makes me go, ew. So I do
Yeah.
like that in the next episode, she's the one who's like, we're not doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too. I think
But-
that works out well.
Yeah, this, I'm just like, they kissed. They were going to kiss. They had to kiss again because, you know,
Yeah.
Cheryl had brought it up. So we knew it was going to happen. But anything else on this episode you really want to talk about? Because there's not
Not
really,
really.
like much to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like the Kevin stuff is more kids like you have to chart your own path, be your own identity
Yeah.
like, at a high level, which is fine. I don't think it's all that engaging because like I don't really care about him trying to sway Mr. Honey. I don't know.
And it's not the Heathers.
No. And I think with that, like, because you put it in the frame story of them putting on the show, so then you use the show of them acting out the characters as a way to like show off how they're like at conflict with one another and what they're experiencing. You don't really get that as much. I think it's like Kevin stuff is just a pitch of like, go see Hedwig and get yourself excited about like being youth and being different and being yourselves and whatever identity you feel comfortable with. It's more like go find Hedwig to find that satisfaction.
Yeah, it's very, we don't fit in, we're not going to fit in.
Yeah. But like without having the delivering the message itself.
Exactly. I also, because it's like a true musical in that way.
Yeah.
It's just not quite the same.
No.
We'll get another musical episode though.
Yes, we will.
I remember that one kind of the most besides the Heathers.
I have no memory of it. So
I just
we
feel
shall
like,
see.
because I think it's just like Betty and her family for the most part.
I remember you saying that, and then I'm like,
I'm sure other people sing. Like, I really don't remember. I just have a very vivid image in my head of Betty and Alice having a scene.
I see.
And because I had no idea what the musical was.
Right.
It was, or play, or, you know, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But are you ready to move to Lynchian?
Let's do it.
All right.
Do you need a pause or anything?
No.
All right. Let's keep it moving along. Chapter 75, Lynchian. Hey, it's the term that people use to describe things that are similar to David Lynch works, where it's like very surreal. Things aren't. It can usually revolve around like a small town, but very like kind of like scary also at the same time.
Do you know what my favorite Lynchian homage is?
What?
There is a scene in Gilmore Girls' Year in the Life, so the return.
Oh.
And it is Logan's bachelor party, technically. And it's when he comes to get Rory in Stars Hollow, and she's like walking, and then the crows caw, and then it's it starts very Lynchian, and then it becomes something else entirely. But it's a really fun sequence. It's unfortunately a horrible plot line, but it is like my favorite thing besides the first part of the first episode in the Year in a Life. If not, I just pretend it doesn't exist because there's a lot of that I don't like.
You know, the other thing I think of from Gilmore Girls is Kirk's movie from the main series, but before he starts breakdancing.
Oh, yes.
Because then it turns into him
when
breakdancing to white lines.
When is he already with Lulu and he's like, it's to Lulu's parents, or is it before
it's like
that?
to a woman's parents. Yeah. It's really funny. Anyways, Lynchian is used to describe lots of things, but this episode, it's not, I wouldn't say it's Lynchian at all. It's using Lynch references.
Yes.
That's it. It's not actually you could not describe this episode as Lynchian.
It's more referential.
Exactly. I mean, we'll talk about things as they come up because
referential versus an homage. Is that like a good way to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because homage would be that you're like acting it out.
Yeah, like the Gilmore Girls scene I'm talking about.
Yeah, where the reference is like, this is Blue Velvet Video. It's the name.
Oh,
so
this guy's
Blue
trying
Velvet.
to use Lynch's cadence in store.
And his name is David.
Oh, it is David, huh? Mm-hmm. Me missing the most obvious of clues. Me hyper focusing on the little things.
No, I mean that makes sense though. I've spoken about David Lynch before. I love David Lynch's work, so I mean he's probably my favorite director. So
I have a love-hate relationship with David Lynch. There are things of David Lynch's I really love. There are things of David Lynch's that I think are a crime to humanity.
No, that is fair.
Twin Peaks: The Return, that was a crime against me. I still have not finished that.
I think we made it 5 or 6 episodes.
I stopped drinking because I was so angry watching that. I was having a glass of champagne and watching that, and I had to stop drinking because I got so mad. I was afraid that I was going to get angry. I'm not an angry drinker. I don't drink to excess anymore. We're old. Right. We don't play that game. This would have been 5-6 years ago though, but still, it was a lot. It was the most annoying thing I have ever watched. That was not reality television or a man intentionally being stupid.
I mean,
not all reality TV is annoying, but you know what I mean.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, you're talking about Dougie. I mean, he's not intentionally being stupid. That is just kind of
No. I said that or a man. It's the most annoying thing I've watched besides those things.
Oh, got it. I thought you were talking about the character of Dougie.
No. It's even worse. It's just intentional.
Watching that as it aired is one of the wildest experiences that a person can experience. You're watching that week to week of just what's going on in ways that are good and bad.
I just don't think I cared anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
I stopped caring. That's how annoyed I was.
Yeah.
You know how much it takes to get me to stop caring? I finished Pretty Little Liars in real time. I finished Riverdale mostly in real time. Not the very end though.
Yeah.
But that was because we got kind of delayed and stuff. But I could not finish that. I was so annoyed.
I do really like The Return, but I understand why you did not like it.
I couldn't get past that part.
Your points were quite valid.
Thank you. And I stand by them.
Yeah, and I think just kind of going back to why this episode isn't Lynchian, because I would think of the style when people do that, something surreal, but also
we needed a bird.
Slow-moving, sparse, so where you're kind of you're focused on a setting in a scene where something just kind of feels off.
And we should have seen Ethel, but not talk to her until way later and things like that. Yeah, I think I could do a Lynch, I could set up a Lynch scene,
Yeah. And we just have to get a strobe light to turn on halfway through.
Yeah. And then someone would have to yell, cha-ching.
Okay, well, no, Mr. Jackpots, you mean?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, no, he yells hello.
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 Yeah, and then the machine makes the cha-ching noise.
Yeah, and then she goes, Mr. Jackpots.
Wanted to die. It was fun. The first time I was okay. And things are funny in 3s, 5s, and 7s. They're not funny in 20s.
I think he does it a dozen times.
It made me want to die.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can jump into the episode recap so Emily doesn't have to experience psychic damage from reliving The Return.
I've never recovered from that. That's so funny. There's certain things I've let go of over time. I have not let go of that.
Well, and you watched the first 2 seasons, and,
I
we
loved them.
and we watched what's the Fire Walk with Me? the
Yeah,
movie.
and I didn't even mind that. And
It's-
I loved the
It's
first.
a heavy ass movie. That is rewatching that. I'm like, Jesus, this is a heavy movie.
But I really liked the first 2 seasons. I mean, they're scary. Like, there's a lot to it, and I thought that was so fun. But then I was like, oh no, this man is too much for me.
20 years later.
You know how they
25
say,
years
like, oh, if you think I'm too much, go find less. Like, that's how David Lynch is speaking to me. He's like, go find less, and I'm like, I'm trying. I'm trying so hard. Please do less. Okay,
Well, all right.
back to our mystery crew,
That's
our
right.
Nancy Drew crew.
Jughead gives us the definition of Lynchian up top, and then we see that they're watching the Jughead mask snuff film to Betty, Charles, and Alice, and they usher Sweet Jellybean out of the room. All the other tapes were just static shots of outside of buildings, so this is the only one that has a murder in it. Betty wants to stay out of the mystery, but Charles says he can use Jughead's
Well, like
help.
a fake murder.
Oh, right. It's a real murder, though, I think.
No.
Because the person is tied up that's wearing the Jughead mask.
Oh, I thought that they were fake, just reenactments.
No, I think like that's a real murder, I think.
Oh,
I
are
can't
you
remember.
sure?
No, I'm not
Okay.
sure. This is
It's hard to tell. Maybe.
I thought it was because it looked like the person in the Jughead mask is tied up and squirming
Oh, okay.
before they get bludgeoned.
You know what? You're probably right.
The masks themselves are also so creepy.
They're so creepy. They remind me of like the so there's a picture of my stepdad from Halloween in like the 60s where like kids
Oh.
Halloween costumes in the 60s, the masks are so fucking terrifying. You ever want to be scared to death?
Yeah.
Look that up.
I wonder if like old Archie Halloween masks, I wonder if they're like the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
They like vintage. Oh God, that looks like AI. But like vintage masks kind of look like that. It's
Yeah.
yeah, like made out of plastic that you just like put over here and like cartoonish, but
Uh-huh.
kind of like a little. They look a little grotesque.
Mhm.
And
Well, like when you see the old photos of like Mickey Mouse in Disneyland, you're like, that's the most terrifying image I've ever seen.
yes, indeed. And Charles in this scene also calls Jughead. He's like, "Yeah, I could use your help, little bro."
Oh,
Yeah.
little brotherly love.
Exactly. Hiram will be supplying the rum for Elio's family casinos. And then Veronica is expanding her business for the college crowd with a low-cost version, Maple Claw. I'm like, damn, White Claws? I guess, yeah, they were happening around this time.
Yeah.
Time flies.
White Claws had already been a thing for a while.
Yeah, right, because this is 2020.
Yeah, because we used to drink White Claws when we lived in the city a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I remember our friend at the time was like drinking them. I'm like, I don't know. But then like they brought it,
They're
I
good.
think, to Dolores, and it's like, oh, this is good. Reggie visits Kevin and Fangs, and he's like, I want in on your schemes. And he's like, he's like, are you selling drugs again? They're like, no. Are you selling drugs? He's like, no, that's why I'm broke. And then they tell him about the tickling business, and Reggie's like, I want in. Archie plays his sad guitar and thinks about kissing Betty. He looks over the Naval Academy application. Betty reads from her old diary about when she met Archie and got an immediate crush, and we see little versions of them looking across the
I don't
way
think
at
it's when
each
she
other.
met him.
She said, I met this boy next door. His name is Archie.
Oh, I thought she said, I'm in love with the boy next door. His name is Archie. Because they're already in like 5th grade.
Yeah.
And so they've known each other since 1st grade, if not younger. Because remember, she helped him learn how to read.
Yes.
And they talked about in the last episode, like when was the last time things were simple? And she was like, oh, when we ordered sea monkeys in 1st grade. And he's like, oh, since 1st grade.
All right. So I had that wrong. Alice comes in and talks about Betty growing up as Betty feels bad about kissing Archie. Veronica and Cheryl sell Maple Claw to a bunch of college dudes who try to hit on them, and then Cheryl shoos them out. A bunch of adult men come in from the Malloy family, and they apparently run a maple moonshine business, and the Maple Claw is cutting into their college market. They sell to, and they want them to pull the claw off the shelves. And then Veronica thinks that they work for Hiram, and she tells the Malloys they won't back down from a fight. The thugs leave, and Cheryl is freaked out by this. Jughead and Charles watch footage of the sheriff's station where the tape was dropped off, and then Jughead thinks he recognizes someone, and he's like, can I check out this lead alone? Archie and Betty are in the bunker alone together, lying side by side on the musty twin bed.
The sex bed.
Yeah, I hate it. All of this scene is
it's the kinky
so
sex
uncomfortable.
bunker.
Exactly, but they're like just lying on it shoulder to shoulder. I'm like, ugh. I don't like any of this. They talk about how they love their partners, but like being together and hold hands. Archie visits Fred's grave, and he's like, Dad, what would you do in my situation? He's like, get your head out of your ass, son.
Or just date. You should have just dated Betty earlier. Like, whatever, you know?
Jughead asks Ethel about dropping tapes off at the sheriff's station, and she doesn't know anything about the murder tape. Betty reads her diary about when little Archie proposed to her, and she told him to ask her again when they were both 18. Betty gets called in the principal's office, and he's like, here's my headshot for the yearbook. And she's like, oh, yeah, I volunteered for that, but, like, my dad was murdering people, and there was, like, griffins and gargoyles and shit going on. And he's like, yeah,
and my boyfriend was almost murdered.
And he's like, okay, whatever. Jughead tells Charles he thinks the videographer is a filmmaker, not a voyeur, and they go to look for clues. Reggie and the boys get paid out for the tickle videos, and then Reggie tells Fangs and Kevin later, they're like, we need to ditch Cherry and do it ourselves.
He's a natural.
Oh, yes, yeah, because Terry says he's got a great laugh. Reggie says it'll pay for their community college education. I love this.
Which you put together later. Who's going to community college?
Only Reggie.
Yeah.
Because later both Fangs and Kevin are both like, we're going to these universities.
Yeah, like, isn't Kevin going to Carnegie? And then Fangs is looking at a university that's nearby.
Yeah, University of Pittsburgh. Jughead and Charles visit Blue Velvet Video, named after the movie, Blue Velvet. They ask the store owner, David Lynch, about their customers. And he kind of does, like, I think he's trying to do like a David Lynch impression. The two look through the customer logbook and find that Ethel Muggs rented Friday the 13th 16 times. David outs that Jughead knows her. Later, Jughead says, I don't think her renting history makes her guilty. And Charles like, well, there is that, and that she's also weirdly obsessed with you, and all the stuff with the Griffins and Gargoyles thing. So, like, I think that's a lead. But Jughead's like, no, you need to drop this. Veronica gets woken up by a call from Cheryl in the middle of the night. The Mollys trash the Maple Club. Veronica swears vengeance on Hiram and then comes home to the Pembroke and yells at him for sending the Mollys. And he's like, whoa, I never do business with them. And he's like, don't you underestimate them. And he offers to help her stop them. And she declines his offer and says he may not be strong enough in his present state to go against them. Archie works on music, and Betty reads her old diaries again of her and Archie listening to records. Archie comes into yearbook and asks to help her with it. And she's like, that's not why you're here. And he's like, no, I can't stop thinking about you. And she's like, we can't do this, but I can't stop thinking about you either. We'll meet at the bunker tomorrow night so we can both think if this is what we want. And then Archie says it'll give him time to finish something. Run, girl. Jughead asks Miss Bell if the school has an AV club and learns Ethel is the president of the club. Apparently, Charles already came earlier, though, to inquire and is now meeting with Ethel. Kevin breaks up with Terry, and Terry's like, I understand, and if you change your mind, you can always come back and I'll do tickle videos. Reggie talks to the football players into tickle videos, and they're like, well, only if you bring in girls. And then he visits Tony to get the Vixens on board, and Tony's like, on one condition. The girls tickle the Bulldogs, but not the other way around. So they are inventing a different type of pornography. They're instead of invoking a homoerotic kink, this is a very different type of kink. Mm-hmm. Cut to a big gathering of everyone starting to film.
I mean, you know what? Girlies having power.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just saying thinly veiled here.
Mm-hmm.
One of the Molloys goes out for a smoke when Hiram comes up and starts beating him up and pulls a gun. And the Molloy's like, I know you're Hiram and I'll leave Veronica alone. And then Hiram goes back to his car but drops his keys, and the Molloy sneaks up behind him and kicks the shit out of him. The FBI searched Ethel's house and found a videotape. Charles gives it to Jughead and says, watch it, and let me know if you still think Ethel's innocent. He couldn't have just told Jughead that it was his sex tape.
Also, does that mean their brother watched their sex tape?
Apparently. Veronica comes home to find blood strewn everywhere and Hiram bleeding and injured. Hiram says he was weak and should have taken out the Molloy when he had a chance. Veronica says she's always there for him. Cheryl drops off yearbook pages to Betty and includes a tribute to Jason. She steals Betty's diary and reads about Betty's crush with Archie, and Cheryl's like, so you and Archie are happening. And Betty's like, I think a part of me has always been in love with Archie for 10 years. And she's like, you're just in love with the thought of Archie. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not in love with the actual person. You just think, like, you built it up in your head.
You love
to
the
think
fantasy.
The fantasy, yeah.
The idea of Archie.
But in this hell of a town, you fell in love with Jughead and tells her not to stray before people get hurt. Terry and his boys accost Kevin at Pops for setting up their own tickle videos. Terry says they expect 40% of the profits, and the two toughs threaten to break his fingers, or else Kevin...
They pull his ticklers back.
He'll never tickle again.
You'll never tickle again in this town.
And Kevin agrees. Jughead visits Ethel at school. The tape was the sex tape of Bughead from Stonewall. Ethel says there's a secret place in the back of Blue Velvet Video called the Scarlet Suite instead of the Red Room from Twin Peaks, a.k.a. the Black Lodge. It's got a bunch of amateur weird tapes, sex tapes, snuff films, and she found it there and kept it so no one else would get to it. Oh, also that I've already mentioned in a previous episode, but just to lay it on again here related to David Lynch, the tapes outside the houses from like that voyeuristic point of view, that is referencing Lost Highway. Reggie assures Kevin that he can handle Terry and that he needs to set up a meeting at the Five Seasons. The FBI plus Jughead raid the Scarlet Suite. Jughead finds the video of Jason getting killed. Terry and his boys meet with Reggie, Kevin, and Fangs, and then suddenly the Bulldogs appear to back up Reggie. Reggie tells him they get nothing and tells him to back off, and Terry's like, "You're all making a big mistake," and leaves. Cheryl tells Veronica that she's pulling out of the maple rum business because she's like, "I wanted to do something fun with you, and this was fun, but now all this scary business, I don't want anything to do with this. My heart's not in this, so I'm pulling out." And Veronica's like, "Okay." Honey calls the student tickle leaders, and he says he got an anonymous tip about their business. Kevin's like, "Well, we didn't break any laws doing it. They're perfectly legal. We had our clothes on and everything." And Honey's like, "Well, you were wearing bulldog uniforms and vixen uniforms. I want that website taken down immediately." To which you pointed out, Tony looks at them like, "Oh, God damn it, you idiots." Mm-hmm. Archie and Betty meet in the bunker, and Archie pulls out his acoustic guitar, and which I wrote in all caps, "Girl, run, he's going to play Wonderwall." He sings a song he wrote for her, and then Betty stops him from playing. Like, "That's nice, Archie, but thank you so much."
Oh wow, good job.
Yeah. Oh, that's great song. I love it. But stop right there.
I think it's time to take our break.
Yeah. And she's like, "I love Jughead and you love Veronica," and Archie's like, "Well, what are we doing here then?" And Betty's like, "Well, I think because changes are coming, like we both maybe felt safe with each other," and she tells him it's over. Archie plays the song at home later, and Mary overhears. She's like, "That's a nice song. I bet you wrote it for someone special. Has Veronica heard it?" And he's like, "Not yet." And tells her he's ready to get serious about the Naval Academy. Always running away from his problems. Mm-hmm. Betty burns her old diaries, and Alice asks why she's doing it. And she's like, "I'm exercising my demons." And Alice is like, "Well, why don't you just keep one?" And Betty's like, "Fine."
Keep one demon.
Yep. Kevin and Fangs discuss their futures, and Fangs is going to University of Pittsburgh, which will be close to Carnegie Mellon, where Kevin is going. And they're like, "Well, maybe we could both date each other outside of this town." And they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Do you think Honey is the one who called, or Terry's the one who called Honey about this?" And they're like, "Of course. How else would you think he caught the ring?" We then find that Honey is at Blue Velvet Video and is upset that the Scarlet Suite is closed. Veronica asks Hiram for money help to buy Cheryl out of the rum business. And Veronica's like, "You know what? I felt comfortable coming here because it showed strength, not killing the Malloy and going back to your old ways and turning over a new leaf." Cut to Hiram going back and killing the head Malloy with a gun in the alley. And Hiram's like, "I have turned over a new leaf."
Oh, Daddykins didn't change, you little dum-dum. Veronica.
And Jughead is with Betty when he gets a call from Cheryl. She apparently got sent another tape, so they go to investigate. Betty's like, "I'm going to join you this time." Tony and Cheryl show that the tape is a reenactment of Clifford killing Jason, complete with Jason and Clifford masks. The end.
I like Betty and Jughead being back together.
Yeah,
that they're like, "You know what? We're doing them." Like, it's like the cornerstone of their relationship is solving mysteries.
Yes,
I love that for them. I love when they're solving a mystery together. I think it's cute. It's fun. It's a good time. So, what's going on with Ethel? You know what?
We always need a scapegoat.
And it's always going to be Ethel.
Mm-hmm. She's the red herring.
She's always the red herring. She's there. She's president of the AV club. No, is she particularly involved in this? Who knows? Not me. I can't fucking remember.
Nope.
I think that the principal going to the Scarlet Suite is very telling of this town.
Oh, yeah.
I think that that's very telling of the world and the time we live in, considering the videos that were there.
Yes.
And considering what was found there. And,
Yeah, what do you think this guy was doing here?
What do you think he was watching there?
Mm-hmm.
Tickle videos?
Well, no, yeah, because, he was going to, but he couldn't get through the paywall. He had to pay.
Oh, that's true. Reggie ruins everything. That's what we learned today. Looks great in drag, ruins everything. Don't invite Reggie into your scheme.
No.
He's going to ruin it.
Yeah.
He's raised by a car salesman. He's going to ruin it. Except when he's working with Veronica, which, by the way,
because she's the brains.
is he still working with Veronica?
Every now and then he's at Le Bon Nuit.
Yeah. It's like he still works there sometimes.
Yeah, maybe part-time. Maybe he scaled his hours back.
Yeah, what do I
He had
know?
to focus on other schemes.
Because they aren't dating anymore. Or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it Kevin just makes things hard. And it is funny at first that, I mean, I think in the tickle landscape, obviously in capitalism, they should be able to start their own tickle enterprise if they wanted to without threat of being injured by Terry and his boys. But I do find it funny at first that Terry's just like, yeah, okay, Kevin, going our separate ways. That's fine. But if you want back in, just let me know. And it's only until it's like you're starting your own tickle enterprise that.
Ugh, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Which it is. We're going to talk about, we'll do Betty and Archie last. Cheryl and Veronica and the maple rum. I get Cheryl. She's like, you know what? This was an after school activity for the two of us. We were having a good time. Now we're out. I do think Cheryl being so concerned for her mother is a little hilarious because I'm like, this woman tried to murder Veronica.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't
She
include that in the
literally
recap.
tried to murder Veronica at one point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't include it in the recap, but
She's like, oh, like they could have hurt mom. Like, luckily they didn't find Mumsy. She's hidden in the back, or whatever.
yeah, she has a secret room that she sleeps in at the Maple Club.
Yeah, and I'm just like, your mom's a criminal. Yes. Not that she deserves to be hurt because she's a criminal.
No, just what she's done to them.
Yeah. So Hiram is never going to change. You know that. I know that. Veronica doesn't know that.
No.
No, I understand because I too had a loser of a father that I thought was going to change for a long time and didn't.
I understand the hope.
I truly believed, like, when someone's like, oh, I'm going to do better, be better. I believed them. And then I got old and I got tired and I stopped believing that. Some people do change. Hiram's not going to. That's not his character arc. That's not the journey he's on right now.
But
How long until Veronica figures this out?
Boy, it's gonna maybe I don't know. Maybe we get something at the end of the season, but I don't think so.
No, I think it's later.
Yeah,
I think it's much later.
yeah, because we're coming up on the end of the season pretty quick here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is I like having Hiram going out and being a thug.
Me too. I'm like, oh, he's got a serpent jacket on. He's not a serpent, but he's wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's going to do crime. He's in his leather jacket.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I always say. If you're going to do crime, put on your leather jacket.
And that we see Hiram being ruthless.
Yeah. Well, and the
he
Hiram
immediately goes to kill someone.
Exactly. The Hiram that we have always assumed he was as a character.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see a lot of that. It was usually him like going after Archie for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. It's usually something happened and he's like, oh, that's so sad that happened there.
Yeah, he's like pulling the strings from the background, whereas this time he gets his hands dirty.
Yeah.
And it's because Veronica basically goads him by saying, well, I don't think you could do it in your condition.
Exactly. I a while ago compared him to the Marvel comic character like Kingpin, who's this ginormous dude who's also a mob boss, but like who will, because he's this ginormous dude who's super strong, to like get his hands dirty, and that's where like I see the connection here, and I like that.
Yeah. Okay, the Betty and Archie of it all. Once again, he's obsessed with her now. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
out of nowhere, he drank a love potion. He woke up one day. I don't fucking know. I think it's weird.
All in, yes.
And I'm like, but you're not breaking it. Like, it's not like he broke up with Veronica because he's like realized he has a crush on Betty.
He's just forgotten all about Veronica. It's like, Veronica who?
The laying side by side on the bunker thing, I know you found it weird and grody. It's a little weird, but it's intentional because it's supposed to like reflect that scene of them when they were little, laying, holding hands, listening to records.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really cute. I also think it's interesting that it shows us that as little kids, Archie was in love with Betty.
Yes.
And then as they got older, he wasn't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was like he was distracted. We never had that piece of information before.
No.
That he proposed to her when they were little.
Exactly.
That she told him to come back when they were 18. Like, it changes the dynamic of the relationship a little bit and makes her less pathetic. Like, season 1 Betty feels less pathetic. I'm not that it's pathetic to have a crush. I think that we as a society shame women and girls specifically for liking someone.
But that she's like hopeless, like that this would never work out, and that she was deluded in like thinking this, or is that quite what I'm trying to say? Like the hopeless idea of like that was something would ever work out between them. It's like Betty has like some history of like, well, there was mutual feelings beforehand.
Yeah, we were little and they were kid feelings, but like, was it something real? And it's like that idea of like that romanticized daydream of like falling in love with your childhood best friend and how like cute as an idea that can be. And yet like do you grow exactly aligned with that person? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm sure it works for some people, but like, is that a rational way to look at the world? But it is very like American dream, girl next door, like vibe. Like captain of the football team, girl next door who's smart, brainiac and hot boy. We all watch High School Musical. We know how it works.
Yeah. And
obviously the cornerstone of youth movies is High School Musical.
And it feels like that she's a completely different person now when you're young like that, from 18 to 12. But
Totally.
like that's such a small amount of time. So that's still, because she's always been around Archie, that's still there's still those feelings that are like, it's still like fresh in a way.
I do love when she stops him playing guitar, because we all go, no, you said, oh god, he's gonna play Wonderwall.
Yeah.
But I think that Betty stopping this because of the conversation she had with Cheryl is, one, ironic, because Cheryl's the one like, oh, that kiss looked real. And then she's like, oh, who planted that seed in your head? Like, you did, bitch. You planted that seed in her head. And then you watered it. And now you're like, oh, God, it took roots. Like, what did you think was happened when you put the seed in the soil and you watered it? But Cheryl... I really like Cheryl's advice that she's like, you've been in love with the idea of Archie, like the fantasy of Archie this whole time. But like as a person, you're not in love with Archie. You're in love with Jughead. And like Betty's like, oh my God, you're right. And I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I like that a lot. I think that's really important. And I think that's really a really important message for young people, because it's like that idea of like, if you've had a crush on someone for a long time, but then you're dating someone else and the person with the crush finally gives you the time of day because you're dating someone else. And then you're like, oh, well, do I leave them to go to that person? It's like, why would you?
Yeah.
They didn't notice you until you were the hot commodity. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And you were always the hot commodity.
That's right. Yeah.
You were always the hot commodity.
And that your idea of what this thing is might not be like what it is in actual fact.
Yeah,
it might
relationships
seem really exciting.
Are much easier in your head than they are in real life.
Yes.
You know, we've had so many ups and downs. You know those posts that are like, if you're going to post about all the ups and downs, I want details.
Yes.
Like that's me always. And people are like, you know, there's highs and lows to marriage. I'm like, they're really like, being married is not the problem. If marriage is the problem in your marriage, there's something else wrong.
Yes.
Or your relationship in general. The relationships are only hard work in the sense that being a human that interacts with humans involves you being self-aware and working on yourself, and like the other person doing the same and giving each other enough grace and holding each other accountable enough to do that appropriately.
And to be not selfish in your wants to like, oh, okay, well, I might want to do this, but like my partner's doing this and this is important, so maybe I should do this. Or my partner needs this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Having the wherewithal.
I'm not supposed to be selfish?
Oh, you are, not me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. That's right. And if your relationship dynamic is not that, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Men
I
should
don't know
grovel and women should be worshipped.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
The end.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you're in a non-heterosexual relationship, you may set up that dynamic however you please.
That's
or
right.
Mutual respect might work for you. Not in our home, though.
Who's the Emily and who's the Brenton in your relationship?
Who does all the cooking and who does all the sitting?
we're moving beyond these dated dynamics of like, who's the man in the relationship?
It's who's the Emily and who's the Brenton.
That's right.
So if you're the Emily, you plan everything out, but you don't do a damn thing.
In Riverdale terms, who's the Veronica? Who's the Reggie? But like, you know, like not with all like the other things that come with Reggie, but like who's the like, yeah, boss.
Is that what you do when I say something?
I've become
You've been watching the Newsies again?
I was thinking like the cartoon like flunky that's going along like, yeah, boss, we'll get him.
Who's Captain Hook and who's Mr. Schmee?
Smee, that's right. There's another great post. It's like, yeah, boss, I'd love you if you was a worm.
That is our house. Who's the mortician? Who's the Gomez?
The Gomez, yeah. Oh my God. The last tangent related to this, we can get back to the episode. Was it Phoebe Robinson calling Timothy Chalamet, Temu Gomez Adams.
I think so. Timu Gomez.
Timu, there you go.
If you didn't hear what Timothy Chalamet said about dance and opera, then lucky you.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't.
We support the arts.
We support the arts. The fine arts. The high arts.
Mm-hmm.
We especially support arts. All arts. But what is particularly ridiculous about what he said is that ballet and opera are not going to be replaced with AI.
Yeah.
You can't replace a Misty Copeland with AI. You can't replace, AI cannot dance Giselle or the Nutcracker.
Mm.
So, but
That's that.
yeah, that's that. Anyway, Ethel's president of the AV club. And I just want to know, one, how long has Ethel been watching these videos? Two, what other videos did they find?
Yeah.
And three,
She said snuff films and sex tapes.
yeah. It's just it's a lot. And this girl's been through a lot. I feel like someone should have been monitoring her media consumption, maybe.
Someone should just be helping Ethel at all.
Yeah.
She is twisting in the wind out here.
Exactly. That's really all I have is that adult men are creeps.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie ruins everything. Betty's the only one with half a brain in the Betty Archie of it all. And we know the kiss is going to come back and bite them all in the ass, but will Bughead survive? And
stay tuned next time.
Will we, when we have a time jump, will it matter?
Exactly. To that point, we will be watching the last episode of season 4 and the first episode of season 5 next week.
Okay.
And then the week after that, next 2 episodes of season 5, and then we'll be moving back to Sabrina. So we're almost to the time jump of Riverdale, and then we'll be taking a little break. So it's coming up fast. Kind of snuck up on me. So
You've been talking about it every week.
I know, and yet there's talking about it, and then there's experiencing it.
That's true. Yeah. You knew it was coming, but you weren't like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh wait, it's here.
Exactly. It's still a hit to the back of the head. Anyways.
And that's why he wears his beanie.
That's right. Gotta protect my skull.
Gotta protect your brain.
But you can find this podcast on all your podcast platforms of choice at Dead Ends. You can also find the video version on YouTube at dead_ends. Please leave us comments. Talk to us there. We love talking to people. And you can also send your thoughts and comments to deadendspcast@gmail.com. And you can also tell your friends and things about the podcast. We appreciate it. Spread by word of mouth. We don't advertise or anything. So any traction there is greatly appreciated. The podcast art is done by Vendrinick, and you can find a link to their Tumblr in the podcast episode descriptions. What am I missing? We are on Blue Sky at dead-ends, and you can find us on Instagram at deadendspcast.
All right.
I think that's it.
Is it my turn or yours?
I can't remember. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. We don't fit in.
I thought it was going to take you a second.
Because I was about to say we're still here.
Yeah. Try. So can you cue me one more time?
We don't fit in.
And we're not gonna fit in.
And we love you so much.
We love you so much.
See you next week. Goodbye.